Hi, I'm Dr. Ariele Foster. I'm a physical therapist and yoga teacher, and today we're going to go through a really quick sequence for your core. So here it is. Begin on your back.
Have a block handy. And we'll start with a really creative way to fire up the glutes and the core. So the glutes and the core have a really intrinsic relationship with one another. So we're going to first start by flattening the back, scooping the abdomen, and with the knees bent, start to push your feet into the floor, lift your hips. I'm going to recommend keeping a low bridge. This is Setu Bandhasana, low bridge shape. So there's not a whole lot of pressure on there's no pressure on your neck. And a lot of action is happening in the glutes. Now you'll notice also that I lifted up my toes and I lifted up the front part of my foot. I'm digging my heels in, and you should really feel this in the glutes. This core is going to be super active, front hip points pulling up and back, and you should feel the low back broadening. You can press the hands into the floor, and we're going to hold it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Come on down. Draw your knees into your chest. Cross out your ankles. Straighten your legs up. And you can make some robot arms, or for a little added support, you can tuck your hands under the hips. So finally, for the least amount of support, you can put your hands under the head. I'm going to take the middle path and put my hands in robot. So from here, we're going to take a little bit of a leap. The toes are going to aim up towards the ceiling and not so much overhead. So you're going to keep the right ankle crossed over the left, scoop the belly, and try to lift and slowly lower down. Let's do 5 with each ankle cross. So 2, slowly lower down. 3, and slowly lower. 4, and 5. Right, cross and switch. Root the hands, root the elbows, root the shoulder blades. Exhale, and active feet up and down. 3, and 4. Good. Take the feet flat to the floor, nice and wide, maybe on the edges of your yoga mat. And let your knees just drop side to side. If one side feels really good, you can hang out there for a minute. And just take 2 to 3 breaths. Maybe balance it out on the other side. So part of creating an active yoga practice is balancing both the stira, or the effortful aspects of the yoga asana practice, with the ease, the sukha, the sweet aspects. And that's why we take a few rests during our active practice. So you're going to take your block now and place it between your thighs. Now to make this a little bit harder, move your feet away from one another. I call this the mermaid tail, or the fish tail. Spread your toes, actively reaching through the ball mounts of the feet. And you're going to bring your hands now to the back of your head. So drop your knees up and over towards your right elbow. And then push your knees over and away, your feet and your knees over and away. Keep the feet away from one another, towards the front right corner of your yoga mat. Cross through center, up and over towards the left elbow. And then push over and away towards the left front corner of your mat. And then start to make this sideways figure 8 shape, this infinity symbol with your knees, staying connected to your breath. And moving as slowly as you're able. There's going to be some parts that are a little easier than others. So try to stay really connected to a gentle, slow pace. And to try to move really, really consciously from the belly button, from the low back, so that I'm not arching my back here. I'm keeping the ribs connected to the floor, the low ribs, T12. And just a few more figure 8s, infinity symbols. Good, and come back to center. Set the block to the side. Bring the knees outward and come into this diamond shape in your legs. This is called Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose, cobbler's pose sometimes. rock a little side to side, give your hips a rest, a moment to rest. And then finally, we're going to take the block between the feet and clasp the block between the feet and do a little bit of a hybrid of what we did before. Again, you can have your hands under the hips, behind the head, or for the middle ground, arms in robot pose right here. So I'm going to take my hands under the hips for this one. This one's a little bit trickier. You're going to open your knees. This is external rotation of the hips. Squeeze the block and keep the diamond shape with your legs, but then again, lift up. Use your breath. Stay fully present. Land down as softly as you can. And I have to say that if you're having trouble getting your hips up off the floor, you can just grab a blanket and place it under your hips or even a couch pillow, anything you have at home, and that will help you to create a little bit of more ease for the angle. Let's do about 5 more. Knees are still open. And then when you're done, give yourself a big hug. Be so grateful that you can get on and off the floor, that you have this opportunity to practice a little self-care in the middle of your day. Take a moment to rest in gratitude. And feel free to move on to your next yoga or shavasana. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Dr. Ariele Foster, and you can find more about me at yogaanatomyacademy.com or sacredsourceyoga.com. Thanks.